Welcome to Shadowproof. Evidence first, noise last.
The Matrix 4 is set to premiere this Christmas season. I still feel terrified after watching The Matrix 1. Humans live in a world created by machines, existing in a fictional space-time. Yet they are controlled by the very machines they created. Unaware and still smiling naively, living happily and comfortably to the point of becoming an energy source. But after watching the movie, I also forgot about it. Just treating it as a sci-fi film, thinking it's just for relaxation and not to be taken as real. However, 22 years after the film's release, I came across some information that reminded me of the fear I felt when watching The Matrix back then. In October 2021, Facebook's CEO Zuckerberg suddenly announced renaming the company to Meta and set the future direction as building the metaverse. This term is actually a combination of two words, meta from Greek meaning transcendent, and universe from English meaning cosmos. This compound word wasn't originally coined by Zuckerberg, but first appeared in a sci-fi novel called Snow Crash. Accurately, it should be translated as super universe, but some language experts think that translation isn't very reasonable, as it doesn't capture the essence of the term. So some have translated it as virtual universe. The virtual universe Zuckerberg refers to is still a very basic concept. You can think of it as a primitive, experimental version of the Matrix. It's when humans wear VR-like glasses, then can play games, work, or socialize in a virtual space. Essentially, it's the concept of reality simulation, abbreviated as VR. For example, during the pandemic, when working from home and needing to meet with a team, everyone puts on VR glasses, and what they see is no longer 2D video. But they genuinely feel like they're sitting in a meeting room with colleagues. T knew it. It's a virtual world simulated by computers to create a 3D space. Users in this virtual world have hearing, sight, smell, taste, and even touch, all as real as in reality. That's the story in The Matrix in real life. What kind of scene is that? As mentioned earlier, when wearing VR glasses for a meeting, you not only see colleagues moving around, you can also receive documents they hand over, even know if they had pho with garlic vinegar last meal. It sounds exactly like real life. However, all of this is currently just a beautiful imagination. Current technology is far from achieving the level of creating 5 senses in the virtual world. It's only in the primitive stages of sight and hearing. Besides technical limitations, it's also due to incomplete human understanding of brain functions. Nevertheless, entrepreneurs believe this is a future goldmine, so is Zuckerberg's promotion of the virtual universe concept. Many big companies, not wanting to fall behind, have announced their entry into the virtual universe market. There's Microsoft, game company Epic Games, Roblox, even Nike jumped in because everyone sees limitless opportunities in this market. So why do I feel angry? Let's look at the setup in the Matrix movie. Handsome guy Keanu plays Neo living in a reality simulated space. This is a society that seems normal, but in reality, everyone's true identity is imprisoned in a small pod. However, because everyone's brain nerves are connected to electrical circuits, after virtual sensory signals like sight, hearing, smell, taste, touch are transmitted from the computer network to the brain, making everyone feel this world is real. No one can detect the truth. Some translations call it directly the Matrix, but sometimes it's translated as the So why do they do that? To build and maintain this massive virtual reality network requires consuming an enormous amount of energy. The human body is considered an ideal biological energy source, called biobatteries, HOT, in the movie. How can the human body be turned into a battery? That sounds absurd. Regarding the origin of the matter, let's continue to explore. Bitcoin, which is very popular now, is actually a product of the virtual world that is extremely energy consuming. Therefore, a virtual world is not entirely virtual. It needs energy from the real world to support it. Why does it need so much electricity? To understand clearly, we need to explore the process of its creation. Bitcoin is essentially a code string, a sequence of characters. In essence, it is a decentralized accounting method. Its credit is not like traditional currency, which is guaranteed by the central bank. Every banknote has the central bank's image printed on it. Instead, every coin user's computer stores a record, thereby ensuring its credit, to prevent counterfeiting or fraud. The inventor of Bitcoin implemented various encryption measures. At the same time, according to the design algorithm, the total number of Bitcoins is limited to 21 million coins. The important point is that there are currently over 10 million Bitcoin users. But the total is only 21 million, so everyone wants to own more of this limited resource. Therefore, groups specializing in packaging transaction information on the network have emerged. So what does this mean? Standardized transaction information blocks are linked together to form a public verification system. Thus, even without a bank, Bitcoin holders know the location of every coin, who owns it, and the transaction history, called the blockchain. According to Bitcoin's design, whoever completes the standardized packaging first to contribute to the verification system will receive a Bitcoin reward, called mining. And mining has become a hot profession, with those doing this work called miners. This work is as difficult as digging for gold, so miners get caught up in it frantically. They buy the fastest computers, install the most powerful graphics cards, connecting information blocks in a loop. Whose loop runs faster and more durable will earn more Bitcoin. This is entirely work based on speed and endurance, so miners use the highest configuration computers, running continuously day and night for mining. You may have noticed recently that good graphics cards are either out of stock or unusually expensive. This is due to the shortage caused by miners. Similar to the American West Gold Rush era, many people brought supplies, enduring hardships to reach the West or Canada's Yukon River. But currently, Bitcoin mining is handled by computers, with miners sitting in front of machines. Unlike old miners who had to exert effort, wielding hammers and picks. However, another type of massive energy consumption has emerged: electricity. Currently, besides Bitcoin, Ethereum is also popular. Its issuance method is similar to Bitcoin, consuming 26.5 terawatt-hours of electricity annually. What does this number mean? It's equivalent to the electricity consumption of Ireland with 5 million people in 1 year. Moreover, cryptocurrency mining is demonstrating the marginal effect in economics. The energy consumed to create $1 worth of value is higher than mining gold and copper. Washington State has the cheapest electricity in the US, but the power company discovered something strange. Some households were using inexplicably high amounts of electricity. Upon inspection, they found the basements of these houses were filled with the fastest servers, mining day and night. Even small mining workshops like these can overload the local power grid. Currently, from Tesserve to Iran and Inner Mongolia, China, wherever there's cheap electricity, professional mining teams can be found. Look, just issuing virtual currency already consumes so much energy. Of course, in a virtual universe, you need to use virtual currency to buy things, just like real money. But what about other factors? This requires the internet to be upgraded. More servers are needed to store information and more powerful processors. In this regard, standards must be ensured. As a result, power consumption will increase significantly. Current preliminary estimates show that if a virtual universe operates, global electricity demand will increase at least 2.5 times. Surely people have noticed the recent trend of reducing carbon emissions worldwide. Green energy advocates propose abandoning traditional electricity generation. Coal-fired power plants even have to be shut down. They advocate using clean energy sources such as solar, wind, and natural gas. However, there is a field that receives less attention in development, which is bioenergy. Returning to the initial key point, the human body battery mentioned in the Matrix. This is not arbitrary fiction. The heat emitted by an average person per second is equivalent to a 70 to 100 W light bulb. Or in other words, if a person lives to 80 years old, the heat they emit can permanently light an 80 W bulb. As for a competing cyclist, the heat emitted is greater, usable as a 700 W electric stove. If cycling for 2 hours, it's enough to cook a long meal. Imagine if the heat from 7 billion people worldwide were concentrated, the effect would be astonishing. Therefore, the science fiction in the Matrix has a basis. Humans can indeed function as super batteries. Moreover, this battery is completely environmentally friendly, non-polluting, and requires no disposal of used batteries. But unlike electric car batteries, humans have self-awareness and personality, so whether it's the Matrix or the virtual universe, the founder of the virtual world cannot let people know the truth. They're just batteries maintaining its existence. If the batteries knew their fate, they would rebel. Therefore, the diverse life in the Matrix is just a virtual story to keep the batteries working peacefully, maintaining stability. To achieve this, a crucial technique is needed: connecting the human brain to machines, with the machine sending signals. Creating sensations so you feel the virtual world is real, live comfortably, and hide the truth. VR technology only provides vision and hearing, to have smell, taste, touch. Another method is needed to connect to the brain, stimulating sensory areas to simulate them. You can then taste sweet ice cream or feel the warmth of hugging a dog in the virtual world. So, is anyone developing this technology? Yes, it's Elon Musk. Musk's ultimate goal in supporting brain-computer interfaces is to turn consciousness and perception into digital signals. Just input the correct code and connecting device, and it will produce corresponding sensations. In 2020, Musk introduced a pig named Gertrude, with a chip implanted in its brain. Neuroscientists saw no difference from other pigs. But Musk is confident that when the technique is perfected, similar chips will be implanted in human brains. Humans can use thoughts to control electronic devices, helping neurological patients. Such as paralysis patients use thoughts to control computers. But thinking conversely, has the computer controlled humans? If AI inputs false data into your brain, you feel all sour and spicy tastes as real. Isn't this the pod device in the Matrix? In the Matrix, Keanu awakens from the virtual world, tries to save everyone, faces reality, fights the creator. The final movie titled Revolution expresses this. The virtual world in the Matrix is a place to escape and resist, but in real life, we rush into another virtual universe, excited, truly ironic. This becomes a philosophical issue. In the Matrix, you escape real-world pressures, fulfill dreams. Like becoming an actor or sports star, but you become code, altered or deleted by AI. While your physical body is imprisoned in a pod, existing as a battery. So, do you have freedom or not? Have you lost freedom, or are you already free? The Matrix series is like a science fiction prophecy. Will the virtual universe turn us into batteries? This recalls the Hopi tribe's prophecy stone, ancient Native Americans. Humanity progresses along two paths. One is science and technology, the path we are on. The remaining path is where humanity harmonizes with tradition and nature. According to the Hopi stone prophecy, the path of science and technology leads to nothingness, has been severed and has no continuation. Meanwhile, the traditional path brings prosperous development. Could the inspiration for this ghostly film come from the ancient Hopi prophecy? I must say no to that. I am not the path, but let's keep the best advice here. And I am the path. I will forever be the path.
If the proof convinced you, subscribe and open the next case.